Welcome, fellow dreamers, and welcome to another Halloween spooky season special. In this video, marking, I wouldn't say it's a halfway point, but maybe a quarter point, since it's the 10th. This is where we get to, like, the countdown almost, and it gets to 20, and then it gets to 30. I'm going to be doing a video on something that some of you may have seen floating around Etsy, and that being spirit companions for sale. Usually from what I've seen, these will be a really pretty crystal necklace with a painting of, you know, a dragon, fairy, genie, you name it, next to it. And it will say that it's a so-and-so spirit companion, you know. So here's my thoughts on spirit companions. I'm going to be talking all about those. First of all, I want to say that I don't believe that there is an entity attached to those objects, and if there is, it is most likely a demon. But let's say it's not. Let's say they've somehow figured out how to capture these entities and force them into, like, staying inside of an object, right? I think that's pretty unethical, you know, because, they're supposed to be our friends or our family, you know. I mean, you can't just, think of your best friend or loved one. Like, you wouldn't, or your pet, like, you wouldn't force them into, like, a small cage and just keep them there, would you? Like, that, no, that would be wrong. And, that's kind of how I feel about doing the same thing to spirit companions. With that being said, I did do a reading on these, and I've kind of got everything in order over here on a list to talk about it, but before I get into that, I would like to get into your natural guides that you already have and how to connect with them. So first and foremost, you will be given a guardian angel. For me, my guardian angel was the last being that I reached out to, because I had some bad things happen to me and I had some faith struggles. But, to reach out to my guardian angel, I ended up having to, basically, I was able to speak with him through my first ever tarot deck set. Now, that tarot deck set is not him. It's just a divination tool. Think of it as a cell phone, you know? And, he, basically wanted me to work with the tarot and oracle cards, and so did my dragons, because they wanted me to strengthen my intuition and how to read things and, you know, make my senses on picking up on bad energy more natural. Which your intuition is, of course, given to you by God. My aunt likes to call it the spirit of discernment, but to simplify it, it's your intuition. Now, not everybody ends up having a relationship with their guardian angel. Like, you know, like a sexual one, but or a romantic one. But, that's entirely up to you, and if you feel connected with them enough, and, it's also up to your, you know, your past self spouse, if they want to, let them in, if they're open to polygamy or not, like Adama is. I guess I should touch on Adama next, shouldn't I? So you're going to be... I'm not sure if everybody's gonna have a past self, but, or like a... I mean, maybe they will, I don't know. I mean, I'm not really sure how this works, but in my case, I was given a shadow self first. Now, if you don't know what your shadow self is, that is basically every trait that you try to hide from the world. And it becomes this rebellious version of you. And if ignored and repressed for it's also repressed emotions. If ignored and repressed for too long, it can start acting out in ways that you don't want it to act out. So it's best to get in touch with your shadow self, which I did by journaling, and then responding to myself as if I was, you know, just basically talking to yourself through journal. And then that ended up turning into dreams of a past life, my first ever past life, and it ended with me exploring that avenue. And, you know, once I'd gotten in touch with my past self, Adama, my shadow self became him, and stopped trying to self-sabotage me, thankfully, and is now one of my protectors. However, there is still a small fragment of my shadow self that I'm trying to uncover, and that is our inner child. Not just mine, not just his, both of our inner child in one body. Which I'll touch on that in a separate video, because I'm still not entirely sure how to get them, like, where they, belong. Which is, they should be in my solar plexus chakra, but they're not. Like, we don't know, like, or if they're there, they're laying dormant, so, yeah, right now I'm just trying to do things, like, that would get me in touch with anything that would awaken a sense of nostalgia in me, like arts and crafts and stuff, and, yeah, I've taken crocheting back up again. Might sell some of those on Etsy, I don't know. But yeah, that's, enough rambling about my inner child, and, I'm not sure if, like, again, I'm not sure how many people have a past life. I know that, past lives are typically created when a life was unfairly cut short, like Adama, because he was murdered. But, you know, for me, like, to become whole, I embraced him physically, emotionally, and sexually. And now, in a way, we're kind of trying to have a baby. Next is, I think it's appropriate to talk about your spirit animal. everybody has a spirit animal. Mine is a butterfly. I wanted to talk about how to get in touch with your spirit animal, but they kind of just reach out to you, you know. I can tell you the best way to spot them, though, and the best way to spot them is they will show up everywhere. And I mean everywhere, like, and you will notice, too, like, you'll say, oh, I'm seeing a lot of butterflies, or, oh, I'm seeing a lot of owls, you know. They will, like, you'll see, if they're, like, common enough, you'll see them in, like, out in the wild, out in public. I've even seen Hope during the winter. Which I don't think butterflies are supposed to be out during the winter. Which was my first tip-off that she might not have been just a natural butterfly. And, then you're also going to see them, like, on ads. You're going to see them on clothing. They're just going to pop up everywhere. And Hope, I did not name her. She told me her name. I was going through a particularly bad time in my life, and first I saw a t-shirt in the store, and it was like a rainbow butterfly, and it said Hope underneath it. And, then I saw I went to my aunt's house, and she had a refrigerator magnet with a sticky note that said Hope on it, and the magnet was a butterfly. And I pointed that out to her, and she was like, oh, you'll never believe how I found this. I was just out jogging, you know, I found it in the street. And, the Hope note, not the magnet, but, yeah, that's how I came to know that her name was Hope. And it makes sense, because, another way to, like, spot their name if they don't particularly tell you is what message are you getting from them when they show up. For me, Hope, you know, she would show up a lot, and I would see her a lot. But if I was having a bad day, like a really bad day, she would show up, and I would instantly feel comforted and relaxed when I saw her. I'd feel at peace. So that's usually what they're going to do. They're going to show up when you're having a bad time, and they're going to bring you peace. And then, like, immediately after, whatever I was going through would fix. And, another thing, I wouldn't set this in stone because I'm not particularly sure. I do notice that a lot of spirit animals have a default color of white. Like, I noticed, Hope would always show up as a powdery white initially. I mean, she can change color, but which is why I usually draw her rainbow when I draw her. Just to kind of signify that she changes color. But she does change color. The colors have different meanings. Like, I think green, ironically enough, means Hope. White's her default color. I'm not entirely sure what it means. I think it's, like, more of a everything's okay color. Black is a protection color. You know, just examples like that. There's this one color she turns into where it's like a dark brown and then it fades to blue at the bottom, like a cobalt shiny blue. And I've taken that color to mean that I'm on the right path. But yeah, she changes colors a lot. But her default color is white. Like, the first time I ever saw her, she was white. And it got my attention because I was like, huh, that butterfly is a very powdery white color. I've never seen that before. And I noticed, too, that a lot of other people will say, oh, my spirit animal's a white wolf, or my spirit animal's a white owl. So that leads me to think that your spirit animal may show up as white at first. Other than that, it's more of a you'll know it when you feel it type of thing. But yeah, the best way to spot them is you see them everywhere. Like, inexplicably. Inexplicably. I can't talk today. Okay, another thing that God will give you is He will give you two creatures thought to be mythical as your guardians. Usually it's either fairies or dragons. Mine are dragons. Red Mane and White Fang. However, I've heard other cases of people having gnomes, unicorns. You know, they're rarer cases, but I have heard of it. I think somebody had a phoenix. But yeah, I know Haley Reese, another YouTuber on here, she actually talks about her experiences with fairies a lot, and two of her spirit guides are also fairies, Salt and Pepper. So yeah, she's got fairies, I've got dragons. And I'm trying to remember who had the gnomes. I've just heard of it. I think I might have read it in DJ Conway's book, but she also had dragons, Nip and Tuck. I was so devastated when I found out she was dead, because I was like, no, I wanted to meet her and our dragons to play together. Oh, and then she had a third one come in named Tinsel. I think you do eventually get a third one. For me, I'm not entirely sure. One of my dragon studies is I had to hatch an egg. And my dragon teacher is Garkin. And I had to hatch an egg, and her name, like, I even got to name the baby Aurora, and that was Garkin's daughter with one of the other dragon teachers. I've forgotten the names of them. I know the other two of them are boys. There's another girl named Tun. But you know, like, she actually Aurora actually ended up taking my pendulum, my other pendulum, not my Lemurian quartz, but I didn't have the heart to take it back from her, so I'm like, oh, sweetie, you could keep it. But another connection I have is with Naeleon, who is you know, our clan leader, or one of them, since my dragons are half water, half earth. Grail is the other one. But I think I've rambled enough about that. Let's see, who else? Oh, also ancestors. It's kind of a no-brainer, but they're your loved ones that have passed on that will return to you to give you advice. Usually it's my grandmother that returns, but I've also had my cat and two of my deceased birds return. You know, like, one of my birds that passed on is actually a horse now, in heaven. And, not just any horse, but Jesus' horse that he rides during the apocalypse. Of course, the name Heisenberg pun doesn't make sense now, but I'm still proud of him. He's still my son. Okay. Well, your ancestors your loved ones that are pets are technically called soul pets, not ancestors, but basically they're pets that, still visit you. Like, they're not here all the time, they just come down from heaven to give a message or spend time, and then they go back. Which, I can't say I blame them for not wanting to spend too much time down here, because the world sucks, but, yeah. Usually your ancestors' soul pets will, connect to you in dreams. Oh yeah, that's actually how my dragons reached out to me. I initially saw them in reoccurring dreams, and I saw them enough times to where I started trying to reach out because I'm like, okay, that can't just be a one-off thing. I mean, it's the same dream every night. I gotta try to contact them because I felt such a peace around them and I was drawn to them. So that's usually how your mythical creatures will reach out to you, is a dream. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's how Salt and Pepper reached out to Haley Reese too. So they went and talked directly to her. For me, my dragons just kept making appearances. And then I eventually, like, I had to earn their trust before they started talking to me, so I was really surprised when they could talk. Because I didn't think they could talk. Because they would just stay quiet every time I would show up, every time I would try to contact them. Like, they would show up, but they would be quiet. And I guess I had to earn trust before they started talking, but, okay, let's get into... I actually did do a reading on the spirit companions on Etsy, and asked my angel what they were. And he confirmed that they're most of them are fake, but some are demons. So, do be aware of that. And, that also goes into, you know, I know maybe you're confused at this point because I do have charms that represent my guides. They are not in these. They're not in these. This is just, so you can see them, you know, like, because you can't, like, physically see them unless they decide to show themselves on camera. Gosh, I bet that would get us on the news. But, yeah, you won't be able to see them. So I got, like, just stuff to represent them here. My angel will usually be on my left side, or above me. Yeah. And, Adama, like I said, he's in the right side of my body. Which, psychics have said, other psychics have said they picked up on because my right side stands with more confidence than my left side does. It has more of a masculine stance. My dragons. So, Redmane is usually behind me. Usually. He's the smaller of the two. White Fang will sit on top of the roof of the house and guard the house. I, have invited him out to join us, but, he just kind of likes to keep to himself, and, you know, whatever, he's welcome to come if he changes his mind, but at the same time, I do feel safe with him guarding the house, and guarding my babies, my little birdies. Maybe I'll show them on camera someday if you want me to. Then, Hope is the only one that has kind of physically appeared. But, you know, not everybody can always see her. There's been times when I pointed her out to Mom, and Mom would be like, "What? Where? I don't see a butterfly." So, yeah. And like I said, ancestors, they'll come and go. They won't stay here. They'll just usually show up in my dreams. Now, I would like to say that I have been given gifts by them. That goes into the topic of offerings as well. Usually, I mean, I haven't really, like, left things on the grid, or the altar, or, whatever. I mean, I guess I kind of have. I've left these crystals up here. And they're all dragon-shaped, or have a dragon carved into them. Okay, yeah, I take that back. I have left stuff up here. But, usually, I will get them tools, or things they're attracted to, and just kind of keep them nearby. like crystals. I know Adama really likes crystals, so I try to make a habit out of wearing them more. And, you know, I got him a crystal ball, of course. And, you know, I let them pick out which tools they want to, like, contact me with. Like, you know, for Hope, it's the pendulum board. And, you know, like, I've also, like, you know, I've got their tarot cards, I've gotten them oracle. I think each one of my guides, except for my ancestors, has a tarot deck and an oracle deck. Oh, and except my inner child, I've been able to reach out to them with an oracle deck, but, yeah. And, I don't know why my throat is getting so irritated. Like, I'm not even yelling in these videos. But yeah, I'm gonna show you some of the gifts my, guides have gotten me. I've got them in a little thing here. But, there's my Lemurian quartz that was, gifted to me by Adama on Christmas. It was just, it showed up in a Christmas package and Mom didn't remember ordering it. So, and I was just so drawn to it that I shoved it into this wire cage. Because I just wanted to wear it everywhere. And, you know, it just, it also came with, what it came with is it came with that pyramid up there. I don't want to pick the phone up because it's kind of loose, but, all these pyramids all the pyramid statues you see on my grid. Please don't fall, please don't fall. Yeah, my wish box and chalice were also gifts from my dragons. I think all the crystals on the grid were too. But yeah, those would just appear in shops. Like, there's this one shop I frequent that, I actually found this ring right here in. And, that was too big for my finger. And I ended up attaching it to this instead. Also wearing this. You know, again, dragon ring it was actually a gift from Adama, ironically. The smoky quartz was a gift from my angel. I walked into this metaphysical shop that I frequent. I can't name it because it's exclusive to my area and I don't want to dox myself, but, what happened, this was like immediately after my, ex had abandoned me. It was, you know, I walked in the metaphysical shop and I, walked up to I was walking around and, you know, Mom was talking to him, she's like, she's going through a lot right now, she needs some help. So they were starting to recommend lepidolite and rose quartz, but I felt like a soothing sensation coming from the smoky quartz section. So I ended up picking up the point, because it was the one I was most drawn to. I don't know about you, but I love obelisks. I just feel like they really just bring out and enhance the crystal's beauty and energy. So, yeah, when I'm particularly going through a hard time, and like now, because one of my birds passed from terminal cancer, I wear this, it makes a good painkiller. Opioid-free painkiller. I'm gonna put the Lemurian quartz on. I can't, the chains are too long. Okay, this one was a gift from Redmane. It's, gold-plated. I don't think it's solid gold, but, and, there's a little tiger eye orb. Redmane brings me a lot of tiger eyes, I will say that. This was gifted to me, again, by Redmane, at a gem show. First I was shown Unikite in my dreams, and when I went to the gem show, I noticed a dragon on it, and I'm like, you know, especially because Redmane's color palette is red and green, I was like, well, he obviously wants me to have this, and it was only $3 too. Can you believe that? Oh, sweet. Okay. This was another gift from Redmane. What in the world? How did that happen? Two separate gifts. First is this. Now, when you begin dragon studies, you'll be given a metal dragon figure. I was given one that kind of looks like my dragons. I actually ended up tattooing this one on my arm. Which, if you want, you know, and please do comment if you want it. I will, you know, because nobody's commenting. I will do a tattoo tour. And then that brings us to this. This is a flower agate. Now, my first encounter with the flower agate is, I was in intensive therapy. It was like intensive group therapy, which, you know, like, I went to intensive group therapy, and, there was this one therapist up here, and she came out with this basket of gemstones, and she's like, okay, pick one, hold on to it, and, you know, like, try to feel it, or see what energy you feel from it, and, you know, let it choose you. So I chose this one, and, I ended up bonding with it. And, unfortunately, she came around at the end, and, she took them all back, which I think was super messed up, because why would you give us crystals, let us bond with them, and then just take them back? But then again, they also discharged me early when I tried to set a boundary with one of them who kept cutting me off. So, yeah. Ended up doing more harm than good. Actually, come to think of it, I think this agate might have been a gift from Adama for Valentine's Day. But, Mom bought, like, a bunch of crystals for Valentine's Day. And miraculously, the exact, because I even asked the girl, like, what kind of crystal is that, and she couldn't tell me. She didn't know, the therapist, and it's like, which again is super messed up that she took them back, because she didn't care enough about them to even know what kind of crystal it was. So, you know, I opened, like, Mom got me, like, this heart-shaped candy box. There was crystals all in it, and this was one of them, and lo and behold, it is the exact crystal. It is the exact shape, the exact size. The only difference is the one that my therapist had a little chip on the point. This one doesn't. It is chipped in other areas, though. So, yeah, that was pretty special, and, this dragon charm wanted to be hooked to this, so I hooked them together. Ooh. Okay, next is this. What do you know? Spirit animals. And it's a butterfly. I actually have not read what the cardboard says yet. I hadn't had the chance to, She Who Transforms. I haven't had the chance to, look this over yet. The butterfly is one of the gentlest and quietest spirit guides, but its message is one of the most powerful. It lives by eating the lightest of foods, pollen, and the nectar of flowers. It defends itself passively through chemical irritants or camouflage. And this way, it teaches that one can avoid conflict through stillness. But more than this, the butterfly gets its beauty through transformation. Just as the butterfly was once a caterpillar, so also the inner beauty of the illuminations. One's people is a process of transformation. And just as the caterpillar becomes a butterfly without trying or even choosing choosing it, so also people must be gentle on themselves and only do, gosh, the writing is tiny, the right thing as they find it, and in time each person becomes the higher being that living on this earth makes of them. The butterfly is short-lived, yet it seems to lead a special beauty to, lend a special beauty to the meadows where they gather gently. Gather like people. They die in return, and their beauty is not touched by their transitory nature. They teach us to find a sense of appreciation for the world, even though many of its joys are only passing. Okay, interesting. Something I would like to add is, I think Hope may have visited me as a child, too. Ironically enough, as a black caterpillar. Because I remember I would go to the playground at school. I was kind of the odd one out since I was neurodivergent. I was kind of the odd one out. And let's see, what was I gonna say? Oh, I was the school freak, all that. And I'd go out to the playground every day, and, this kind of really kick-started my hatred for people, but, I'd go out to the playground every day, and, there'd be a black caterpillar out there every day, and she'd let me pick her up, and, I've heard that caterpillars can sting, but she never once stung me. So I like to think that Hope grew up with me because that caterpillar was my only friend at school. Here's another one. Both gifts from Adama. A blue opal from Mount Shasta, and a violet flame amethyst. This one is another gift from Redmayne. It's, 2 dragons. Dang, why won't the camera focus? It's two dragons. It's a ring. Gosh, my camera just will not focus. And it's unfortunately way too small for my finger. There we go. Here's another gift from Hope. It was the last, butterfly spirit animal stone, or not a stone, but like coin metal thing, in my metaphysical store. And on the back it says, "Good luck and new birth are at hand." It's another gift from my dragons, but, I had a dream that Redmayne made this for me, and, I saw it in the store. Why won't the camera focus? There. And I had to get it. And it's like this dragon horse head looking thing with a dagger, and it says something in Norwegian on the back. Then I got this, for my birthday, also another gift from my dragons. It's stainless steel and garnet, I believe. If you're wondering why a lot of these aren't on chains, it's because I interchanged the chains. Here was a gift from my cat, who unfortunately also died of cancer. I hate cancer. But look, it's just a little unassuming charm. But check this out. It's got a knife in it. Protection. So I can just wear that as a necklace, and if someone tries to kidnap me again like last time, I can just whip that out and ram it in their gut. I mean, I obviously wouldn't do that unprompted, and I would try to avoid, like, serious damage, but just, like, my plan is enough to stun them so I can run away. This was a Dragon Warrior charm gifted to me by Redmane. Of course. And here was the charm Redmane rewarded me with when I completed my dragon studies. He knew I was kind of uncomfortable with pentagrams, so he gave me a dragon charm that had the Trinity knots on them. There's a tiger eye in the middle. And on the back it says, "Courage to this woman." Here's another Valentine's Day gift from Adama. It's a Shungite point in a dried wildflower, which is a nickname for me is Wildflower. Focus, camera. And here's another gift from Hope. It's an ethically sourced butterfly, like a real one. It's a pendant. But yes, this was a butterfly that died of natural causes, and they preserved the wings. And they've given me more gifts than this, but if I'm here showing every gift they've ever given me, we would be here forever. So, I have this. It's a pendant that looks exactly like Redmane, only the highlights are blue instead of red. It's not a pendant, it's a pin, like a enamel pin. It's another gift from Redmane. So, yeah, just some example. They will give you gifts. They, you can give them gifts. Another way to, like, give, a lot of people like to give food offerings, but if you don't like to leave, food out, and, like on the grid where to get bugs and all that, especially if you live in the woods like I do and you're prone to getting bugs. One thing to do, which I feel is more intimate than just leaving food out, is invite them to share a meal with you, because, a lot of spiritual beings, they can only eat the energy off of things anyway. So if you share, like, a meal with them, they can just, like, you can eat the physical food and they'll eat the energy. Which, I think helps you bond with them more, and it's more social, too. Yeah. I just pulled my leg. I gotta get a better setup. Anyways. What was I saying? I forgot what I was talking about. Right, meals. I know my, dragon's particular favorite food is, like, ramen, and, there's this homemade vegetable, I wouldn't say homemade, but handmade vegetable tofu soup, that I can only get from this mom and pop Asian place in my area. Those are his two favorites. He does like chocolate. A lot of dragons prefer dark chocolate, but mine like milk chocolate. Never been much of a dark chocolate person either. Maybe that's why. Just so bitter, Adama pretty much has the same taste palette as me, so mostly Italian food and pasta. I think my angel likes sweets, but doesn't seem to like want to indulge in them often. Like, I know he particularly likes cake. He likes herbs a lot, though, so any food that's heavy in herb, he'll like it. Because he's good with plants, he likes plants. which is ironic because I'm not good with plants, but he is good with plants. But he loves herbs. So anything heavy with spice and herb, he's gonna love it. Okay, so I want to take this last topic to say that, I did actually reach out to a seller of one of these spirit companions that they're being sold on Etsy. And, I was actually going to get one and see what it was like to have one for a few days. But this seller's attitude just really put me off. So I messaged the seller and I'm like, I even had the thing in my cart ready to go. I was going to get a Kelpie one. And I was going to even document on the YouTube video how my experience with the Kelpie guide was going. Because, I always wanted a Kelpie. Other than dragons, it's like one of the mythical creatures I respect most. And I asked about, the Kelpie, and I was like, hey, I'm interested in this one. Can you give me some more information on it? Like, is the spirit trapped in there? And I also asked what kind of crystal was attached to them, because I like to research the crystals. And she was just like, oh, well, you can just Google everything. Like she was so standoffish. She was so rude. I was like, I think her name was like something Grim something. I can't even remember. But I was like, yeah, okay, I don't want that kind of energy in my house. I will not be purchasing anything from her. So, yeah, that pretty much solidified my decision to not purchase one of these companions, other than, my angel. I actually did the reading after the fact, which I should have done first, but, my angel's, advice on it's a demon, don't do it, was like what solidified it for me. Because I'm gonna listen to my guides from now on. Like, I'm not gonna ignore them, because I asked about, before I got involved with my ex, I did a reading on him, and every single one of my guides was like, there's danger, don't do it. And I didn't listen. I don't know why. I guess I was looking for an escape. Because, before then, one of my parakeets had died suddenly of liver failure. And, I just was looking for an escape. I was looking for just anything to take my mind off of this, and I just didn't. And he was giving off a good energy, which is something I do want to touch on before we end the video, but he did give off a good energy, and so did some other things that I've ended up parting ways with. But this I'm basically going to bring up to show you how to differentiate between real good energy and fake good energy. But my ex, he gave off this almost intoxicating, euphoric good energy. And I can't to this day tell you how he did it. I even asked to one of my psychics that I visited about it, and she was like, oh, he found some kind of loophole. I'm not sure what he did. But, because usually I could sense the bad energy laying underneath, but, I couldn't hear, and that was part of the reason that I ignored so many red flags. But, my, ex, he gave, the energy I noticed was intoxicating, and, this goes into, but it was also very draining. It was very draining. I barely had any energy left. It's like, even though I felt intoxicated around him, I felt my energy depleting. I felt weaker. I felt like I still don't have any inspiration. I think he took that with him somehow. But, yeah. So, you know, with my guides, I've noticed that, when it comes to real good energy, and with crystals too, and just anything you can get good energy off of, it's a matter of, and my angel said it best, you want a real good energy is going to fill you up. It's going to replenish you. It's going to heal you. And, you know, you don't want to be in a relationship or friendship with somebody that's going to drain all of your energy and just take, and never give anything back. I know, like, a lot of times people are like, oh, well, you should give and not expect anything in return. But no, that's not how it works. It's give and take. And the reason you want to have give and take is because if you have somebody in your life that is only a taker, they're going to, like, you can't trust them to have your back, you know? They'll abandon you as soon as things get real or difficult. That just leads me to my next point. You know, when it comes to Adama, God, my angel, my dragons, hope, and even my parents, you know, it's, and my pets, there is a replenishing. And I'm not talking about, like, physical things either. I'm talking about, there's, like, energy. Like, I give them the energy of my love, and they give me energy of their love in return. You know, it's not like a physical thing. It's not like oh, money or oh, objects, you know. It's like a give and take of, energy, you know? And, you know, that's what you want to have. That's what, like, even if, I'm probably still not going to bring any humans in, but, or at least not close. But yes, you want to have love returned. You, at least, at bare minimum, you want to have love returned. And it's like, even gifts, like, we give you, like, you know, I do give them tools, and I give them crystals, and I give them all this stuff, and like, I share meals with them, and they give me things back, you know, like, they give me jewelry, they give me talisman, they give me protection, you know, I give them love, they give me love. And yes, it should be that way. That's how healthy relationships should be. You know, you shouldn't just be giving your all to somebody and, you know, the only thing you get back is hatred or maliciousness, or, you know. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers my topic on spirit companions. Speaking of Etsy, if you would like to receive a personal tarot card reading from me or any of my guides, I mean, pretty much my guides, I mean, let's face it, they're doing the reading, I'm just translating for them. Be sure, and if you want to purchase a talisman or a divination tool, I think I've only got one divination tool for sale, but I do have, like, a lot of talisman up. Be sure to visit my Etsy shop, DragonRealmBoutique. And please do so, because I do have to, like, it is 20 cents to replenish those offers. And at this point, I feel like I've put more money into the site than I'm getting out of it. But yes, other than that, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, click that notification bell. And we'll get back to our regularly scheduled readings tomorrow. Which I think our next one is Dragon Therapy. Yeah, we'll get back with Dragon Therapy tomorrow. So stay tuned for that, and do comment, please. Like, I'm not getting any comments at all, and I just don't know how my videos are being received. And I don't know what you would like to see, what you wouldn't like to see, so please do comment. And until next time, fellow dreamers,